Even the Bible says the heart of man is desperately wicked. Right?
The heart of woman is desperately wicked. Wicked times.
You want set fire for this.
We should not believe every accusation until proven guilty. Cancel culture should not be encouraged. There should be severe punishment for false accusations. There should be severe punishment, because if there's no consequence for misbehavior, then it's going to be misbehavior that can actually reward me. Man, why shouldn't I misbehave? If the misbehavior is going to reward me, then I have every incentive, every motivation to misbehave. If that misbehavior is by falsely accusing somebody of doing something that he did not do, then I'm going to misbehave in that manner to get the incentives attached to the misbehavior. I don't know if we're getting me. I was also going to ask, does unsolicited sexual attention translate into sexual harassment?
Because women can be so deceptive. So you have to be smart and wise as a man, because a woman, laws in this world actually favors woman.
Hey, welcome to the Triumphant Tribe Podcast, platform for inspirational and insightful conversations aimed at giving me and you positive outcomes in life. Here we talk about all things life, including finance, relationships, personal development, trending issues, and how they relate to young people. In our conversations, we share the life experiences of the host, guests, experiences of others, and even your experiences too, via listener letters. You can listen to the Triumphant Tribe on Spotify. You can find the Triumphant Tribe at Titi by Wiz on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, where we'll be having snippets and highlights of our episodes. Feel free to leave comments on specific topics you'd like the tribe to discuss in the comment section of our social media posts. Thanks for tuning in today, and be sure to check us out every week for new episodes. Welcome to the Triumphant Tribe Podcast, a podcast that's aimed at having youthful discussions with the sole aim of positioning youth for the best outcomes in life. I'm your host, Chieftain, and in today's episode, we delve into the complex issue of false rape allegations using a real-life case study, Benjamin Mendy. The case study focuses on the high-profile trial of Benjamin Mendy, the renowned footballer whose life took an unexpected turn when he was accused of a crime he vehemently denied. Join us as we examine the evidence, unravel the intricate legal proceedings, and explore the consequences of false rape allegations on the life of those involved. Remember to subscribe and share this episode with others, as together we can make a difference.
Alright, people. Welcome back to another episode. Today we'll be talking about false rape accusations. And we have regular faces. And then today is really a special day because just a few hours ago, judgment was delivered for Benjamin Mendy, a popular footballer who was falsely accused of rape some almost 3 years ago, and he's been in prison for about 2.5. He just got released. So we're going to take that into our conversations today, look into a few other stories, and then see how we can gain value out of the conversation today. So we'll just start quick introduction in case this is your first time of listening to us. I'll start with Jennifer Boom Amarachi. So quick introduction.
Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Amarachi and I am an OT. It's nice to meet you once again.
Okay, hello everyone, my name is Boom. Remain your humble boy Boom. I'll keep it short today.
Hi everyone, my name is Amarachi. I'm a model, fashion designer, content creator, and digital marketer. Lovely being here again today.
Thank you very much, Amarachi. Thank you, Boom. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, Amarachi, the way you're laughing today is like we're in for something very interesting. So we'll just start. Over the last 2 weekends, we've looked at the sensitivity of rape as a crime, the effect on its victims, what it really means, and all of that. Now, away from that, today we'll be looking at false accusations. what it means for the victims, possible motivations behind false accusations, and all of that. We know that it is popular that when somebody is accused, right? When somebody is accused, the person is in the court of public opinion really guilty until proven innocent, which is a very sad situation. Sometimes even in the court of law, even though it might not be said the person is guilty, but the person would most likely be in incarceration of some sort, like in the case of Benjamin Mendy that we're going to be looking at today. We will just start this way. Quick questions. I don't know if any of us has ever known somebody that has been falsely accused. Maybe a friend, a sibling, a colleague, maybe even somebody distant, or like in this case, somebody we don't even know on personal basis, but from afar, like in the case of Benjamin Mendy.
I'll start with a public figure actually, I think most people will know of him, especially if you're used to watching football. Neymar, starring Neymar. Neymar's story was quite intriguing, in that, like, it was public. First of all, he's a public figure, and such stories will be out in public. Neymar's story was a story of an Instagram model, like being a person of influence. You can't disregard the fact that, probably girls will be in your DM or you be in girls' DM, anyhow it is, the two-way thing. And, we talked about consent last week too. And there is a part actually, Chieftain said, sometimes consent might not be explicitly told, it might be implied. And I really agree with him, because in that case it was implied, not explicitly told. He invited the model to his hotel room. Luckily enough for him, that's what, like, people that are falsely accused of rape do. Luckily enough for him, he planted a camera behind one of the items in the hotel. Everything was released online. Everything that transpired there didn't look like she was coerced. Everything was just going on smooth, the romance in her head, I've met a star. But little did we know that in her head also, it's like, she's like, this is the opportunity to get from him. Women find that as an avenue, especially with influencers and, like, people that have...
I was going to say something that you said women, don't see women, you're generalizing. We are going to do it.
No, I'm saying, what I'm saying, women, because...
I'm just saying, some women.
Okay, let's do something here. We said something the other time. We said something the other time about generalizations, but unfortunately, that was when network had cut Jennifer off. Now, there are generalizations and there are exceptions to the rule. Exceptions to the rule don't negate the general rule; they go to prove the rule, right? But in this case, can we really have exceptional cases? Do you know of any man that's falsely accused a woman of rape before?
Okay. The case, that the case of what we have is that you barely find most men or most male figures come out to say that they were raped. They barely even talk about it because they feel like they will be seen as a weaker vessel. They will be seen like less of a man. So you barely have most men are even great in their relationship. So they're great in their relationship, but they don't come out to say.
But do you think if a man comes out to say, okay, like, this girl raped me, do you think the court of public opinion will actually say, oh, you were actually raped? Do you believe that? Do you believe that a man can come and say I was raped?
If they take it, why are we going to the court of public opinion? Why? These days we don't allow the whole, most of them how to live. It's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah,
now, if you take it to the court of law, they will pass judgment and justice where we pass. Why do you take personal matters like great, like how you should live your life, to public opinion?
Okay, I'll cite the case of Mason Greenwood on this.
You're also
Case on
coming to
Mason
that.
Greenwood.
Jennifer,
I've
you
said
have
the
to
case,
complete that.
in terms of public opinion.
No.
Like
Okay.
Mason Greenwood,
Sorry for cutting you.
Okay.
So in the case of if you use Twitter, right, at least over the last 5 years, there's been several cases. One of the most popular was Sansa. Is this Sansa the Comfort? Something like that. You should know the gist. She accused her ex-boyfriend of rape, and then she brought it before the court of public opinion, of course, Twitter, and the guy was dragged, blah blah blah, and all of that. We don't know if it was true or not. Well, why did you not go to court? I think the guy tried to take the case to court or something. But they finally said, why did you bring it out?
Wait, this is what I'm saying.
When it is brought to the court of public opinion, certain effects are achieved. One of such is character. You are slowing the person's character. You're destroying the person's self-esteem. The person's reputation is at stake. The person is basically an outcast. Even if you cannot prove it in court that person did this thing, or even if you don't go to court, you've done enough damage by just mainly accusing. Because again, I said it, when a guy is accused or whatever, he's guilty until he proves himself innocent.
Okay, let me continue. Now, I'm not doubting what you are saying, but I might not have the statistics right, but I can tell you for a fact that
as for statistics, I have statistics here.
Don't worry, you can back me up with statistics, or you can actually oppose me with statistics. You can choose to any of the two. But I can tell you that why such cases, appear in public, it's because the party related to their public figures. I'll cite all the examples from Partey to Greenwood to men. Like when these things happen and then these people are not really known, like you don't really know these parties, you might not even hear of it. But if it's someone that is of high value and someone of high influence in the society, that girl, even if it was falsely accused or rightly accused, they'll come out to the public and they'll drop all the proofs and all the, so as to open the whole matter to the right. I'm saying this happens, especially when there's something that you stand to gain, either by character assassination or by denting reputation and all that. I've noticed majority of cases that we read about on social media, they're always targeted at public figures.
I have 2 questions for you. Go.
Yeah, go.
And I don't know clarity based on the things you said. The first one, you said that women will be alive. You said women want to go after someone's guys and they take advantage of the women. You can't just call the women like the women hope to go to the guys. That's what you do. So I want clarity. Are you saying that women are just looking to go after the famous guys? So that they can grab them or they can just do something and get away with their money. Is that what you're saying? Is that how you see women?
Maybe I didn't use the word most, but in this case, no. Maybe I didn't use the word most. In this case, I know that 9 out of 10 women.
Jennifer.
I know 9 out of 10 women. If a public figure enters your DM and say, let's meet or let's sit out or let's, the possibility of you saying
I don't trigger release close 50.
When you say people and people, when you say 9 out of 10 women, have you done a research to see it? What are you using to back up this information? See, you know what?
I might not be right. I might not be right.
I was not to say that. Let me ask you a question. Jennifer, if I say cars are involved in road accidents, if I say cars are involved in road accidents, does it mean every car is going to be involved in road accidents? Does it mean I say cars? Okay. So when Boom says women tend to accuse popular figures of why is she here?
I disagree with you. I disagree with you. I want to say something, please. I need you on the day. I disagree with you.
Don't call for backup.
I understand what you're saying, like when you see cars in an accident and you're like, it's not all cars. I'm sorry, this is a very sensitive topic, so you have to be very careful with your choice of words. You can't generalize something and trigger emotions that are not meant to be triggered. emotions that are meant to be left to rest. That is what Boom is triggering right now.
I'm actually Jennifer. I beg to differ. I might be wrong, but I'm sure. I'm sure that.
Have you ever had a case where a man falsely accuses a woman?
We'll come to that. I want to tell you something. Where I'm actually and Jennifer saying that actually, see, like I have this sense of reasoning. I might not be. I might Chieftain, please find me a statistics to back this. Yes, please find me statistics. I need numbers. I might not be good with numbers. I need numbers. I am good with numbers, but I have not actually. I'm trying to tell you 9 out of, maybe not 9, but above 5 is majority. So 6, 7, 8 times a public figure, 9 times a public figure enters a girl's DM to say, hi, can we meet up? I'm very certain 90% of them, except they are not chance to be in the same room or between which the person picks, will accept. I'm very certain about that.
Okay, let me this is a ground report. It's ground report. It's called ground report. It's a media agency in India. There was a report about rape cases that proved false in India. So in 2014, the Delhi Commission for Women submitted a report stating that 53.2% of rape cases registered between April 2013 to July 2014 were false. Among some of these cases, I'm going to mention some. There is a Gurugram false rape case. It happened December 29th of the same year. The manager kills himself after a woman falsely accused him of sexual harassment. A girl from Jabalpur filed 6 false rape cases against 6 men. Woman fined 10,000 for a false rape case. Indian teen tries to fool police in a fake rape case. Man spent 20 years in jail in a false rape case. Woman accusing neighbor of raping daughter. Woman falsely accuses 2 men of gang rape. Daughter falsely accuses father of rape. Woman accuses a man of raping minor children. Woman fakes rape story to marry boyfriend, and a host of others. Boom said something that if somebody is a public figure, truth be told, in my little research preparing for this session, I realized that public figures are actually good targets for this thing, because if you're going to blackmail them, the money will come out. And it's that's why I did that flyer I did. There's a certain bias. It's undeniable. There's a certain bias. If a man comes out to say, for instance, accuses a female celebrity that she raped him, it won't carry weight. He no go carry weight one bit. But if a woman comes out to say it, if 1 says, 2 says, 3 says, whether there is proof or not, is going to carry weight. In fact, they don't even need to prove it. If the popular person is a pastor, his ministry is going to face challenges. If he's a footballer, he'll be taken off playing or something. If he's an actor, he'll be taking off movie roles. We've seen these things happen. And when we look at the effects of rape, and then we see that people tend to take advantage of the bias already that exists to pull down others that they feel certain grievances. In the case of India, the leading cause of false accusation is, I promise I go marry you, I no come marry you. That's the leading cause. So a guy promises a babe that he's going to marry her, and he doesn't marry her. She goes ahead to accuse him of rape because she knows what will happen. That even if she cannot prove this in court, this guy, okay, let me even read a story here. But I think I was talking to you about this earlier today. A guy named Brian Banks in 2002. There is a girl that was his babe in secondary school, high school, Juanetta Gibson, whose mom, a single mother, Wanda Rhodes. Brian Banks had a scholarship to go to college. He was a good football player in school, so he got a scholarship to go to college. His girlfriend's mother set him up, gave the girlfriend a story, asked the girlfriend to sort of in a corner, maybe do a little touching here and there with the guy, that kind of thing. More like what we used to see, secondary school romance, that kind of thing. They are doing their thing in their corner. This is something that both parties have no issues with, so we can say consent is fine, right? Immediately he comes out of there with the girl, a police van pulls up in front of the school, picks him up. That guy spent how many years in prison? It's real life. There's a movie about it. It was a man of thrown into prison. He stayed there for many years, and then the girl's mother goes ahead to sue the school for failing to protect her daughter and gets $1.5 million. She's exploiting the system. So she goes ahead, sues the school for $1.5 million, forgetting that she's rubbish somebody's son's life. This guy is not going to go to college anymore. He's going to miss the scholarship. And when he becomes an ex-convict, there are certain jobs he cannot do. Most of the jobs he's going to be minimum wage jobs, laborious jobs. Like, we've put a cap on his life for life. So she goes ahead to do this thing, disregarding what this guy is going to face. I mean, when I stumbled on that story, I saw the documentary of the guy speaking. If you're not strong, you'll be pulled to tears, I swear. Because this is a guy that the future looked so bright for. But then, it just a twinkling of an eye, the person he used to profess love for set him up like this. How did it even come out that the case was false? Because even after it was established in court that this case could not be proved. Oh, maybe I'll go ahead and mention another story later on, which was her word against his word, but he was still convicted for 5 years. Like, no evidence. It's just, I said this, you said that. That is all the court tried the guy on. The guy was sentenced to 5 years. A case of him just being at the wrong place at the wrong time, around the wrong girl. Rape is a very sensitive crime. I feel like people should never try to take advantage of the system because it makes things worse for actual victims. When a victim comes out, we'll be scrutinizing to be sure it is not just another false case. Because even if you have one false case in 1 million, no, you're damaging somebody's life, you're damaging somebody's family. So it's, my actually said it's a very sensitive topic. It's a very sensitive topic. And it's also, like I said earlier, some people tend to be vulnerable. That's wealthy men, sort of. I have a whole long list of wealthy men that have. I wish this podcast would be doing like 5 hours.
Why do you think that wealthy men are actually number one in that list? Why do you
think profitable? It's a profitable venture.
That's what I'm saying. It's a business, actually. That's what I'm saying.
It's a profitable venture.
That's what I'm saying. Most women actually target public figures. Again, because you know, like, okay.
What I want to say is that you people have looked at analysis from the white. And you guys forget that we are in Nigeria. I know that we're not limiting this podcast. This example you're saying is what mostly happens when you have the white in the United States.
Nigeria. I have a case in Nigeria. This Umaduboze, the guy that killed himself because he was falsely accused of rape, he was put on a sexual offenders list that was posted on Twitter, and then there was no proof. He denied it, but then, you know, as Twitter they be, they'll drag your generation. If you're not strong enough, deleting the app will not be enough. The guy killed himself. That was June 29, 2020.
Well, you know that this thing goes on to this hashtag Me Too movement, right?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I know that. The 2012 hashtag. Was it 2012?
It first came up in 2006. She first started it in 2006, but it was in 2012, like, everyone had this awareness and people tried the law in doing it. But when we have the Me Too movement, because actually it was for women of color. So the women of color that really started it. But when in 2007 everyone had this awareness and people started fighting along, men were also like, we are also victims of grace. Some of us we are victims of grace and we want to talk along, want to speak up. They also started their own hashtag. So I Well, at the end of the day, we're all deliberating. Everything is in the hands of the judge. Because, well, all I just have to say, if you want to engage with someone and you don't really trust the person, yeah, what I mean is, when you say you don't really trust the person, it's maybe one lifestyle and probably relationships that just started in 2 weeks. You really don't know what this girl is. You don't know family or this girl or this guy. You don't know family members. You could just play your camera or tell your friend, what I do? Personally, this is personal. If I go out clean and then I meet someone and I'm not too comfy with you, I call, there's this group chat, I call them the board of directors. It consists of 4 of my girlfriends, 4 of people that have women, 4 of people that 4 of them I can talk to them and they can allow me. So I call them board of directors. So I tell them all, maybe I went with somebody and I even send pictures and they start sending pictures. And I say, hey, I'm going somewhere and if something happens, I'm like, hey, if something happens today or something, I put that was evidence. So I go it. I go and then something happens. I say, don't use cooking bar. Use cooking bar. And now they say somebody's time. There is evidence. So in all I just you can really not be so careful when we try. We try our best. You can, in your case, it may not be a celebrity, whatever it is. In your case, it might just be a more introverted young guy or young lady. But never just feel this is not happening to you. So, you see
you see what I was saying earlier today, that for me, I keep evidence of everything. Make it maybe say to know when I blew, person come dig out something, say 16 years ago, chieftain did this, chieftain did that.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but you know that we had this conversation earlier today, and I told you I keep record of everything. I like when I communicate, I'm like, how will this communication look like in a screenshot, so that I don't see things flying around. No, I've seen cases like that too. I know they feel trust easily because I know this guy is going to blow. If he don't be now, but very soon this guy will blow. First of all,
they definitely come calling it. It's a norm.
So and then Jennifer, you said something about Me Too. When the whole Me Too thing started, you heard of the cancel culture, right? That's so where in the case where if somebody is accused of something, people move as a head, as in HERD. They move like sheep. All of them, they be like Edom. You know Edom in the people now. They just move like sheep. When the shepherd says everybody this way, no questions asked, everybody that way. If we are cancelling this person today, they don't even think about it. Several times people have been cancelled on Twitter, and we get to realize that there wasn't really any reason why they should have been cancelled. People don't ask questions, they just go with the crowd, right? If we are going to say right?
Yeah, I think we should clarify it. We should the hashtag movement for people that do not know. Okay, I have something.
I always have.
I'm going to take this.
Okay. As regarding the whole false accusation thing, I'm not saying that there aren't real cases of rape.
Yeah, of course, real cases. Real cases are a majority by far.
Yeah, real cases will definitely be a majority. But then what I'm saying is that these people that are falsely accused, they may be 1 in 100 or 2 in 200 or so, you get me? But these people that are actually falsely accused, how do they compensate them? Is it by telling them, oh, we are sorry, and this? That's the major problem we have in our society, because there are actually laws to punish rapists, like actual rapists, and I stand for that. But then in a case that someone exonerates his or herself, what happens? Do we just look at, okay? What happens to the person who brought it out? Oh, you did this, whereas the thing that happened was either by consent or it's just a plan to, bring someone's downfall. And I think that is where the society is not being sensitive enough for me.
I want to say something here. You see, like in the case of Mendy, now this guy was accused almost 3 years ago. He was imprisoned. He's now been playing football for a long time now, 2.5 years. Now, today he's out. And what we are hearing is justice has been served. Justice has been served.
That's what I'm saying.
The innocent has been set free. What happened to the false accuser? What sort of compensation is given to the victim here? Because if they ask the guy, it says, journalist, I was telling him that it will take me being in Mendy's shoes a lot of self-restraint not to punch that journalist. I can't talk at such times. If I talk, things will roll out. So why are you asking me questions? So, let me not be emotional about it, but I felt like I explained, I swear. So I felt that.
Okay, can I comment there? What I've seen so far, what I've seen so far is once they're falsely accused, once they are released, one thing they say is your freedom is important. But then most times, I don't worry about the family years, like the case of that blind man, that story you shared, 610. Yeah. That story, I think he said like about 20-something years or years in prison. So when was the same question from the interviewer came, and then he's like, his freedom is all that really matters. So he wants to say everything that needs to be done. So, but for the other party, really, nothing is really done. But I feel for the falsely accused, the compensation they give them is even better. Like in the case of Brian, he couldn't even get a job, you get. Like, once you're falsely accused, you couldn't even get a good job because they put it on TV. It's like when they catch an EFCC catches Mr. Vivian or they put it there on their site. Sometimes they even put it on newspapers. It's not terrible. So the one thing is they come out and tell everyone you're free and you're free to get a job. It depends on the country you're actually in, actually. It depends on the country you're in.
Old boys. That will be our next month. We'll be discussing internet fraud in Nigeria. It's going to span about 4 to 6 episodes. Now, in Nigeria, at the end of every year, EFCC releases a list of convicted people in the course of the year. I've gone through the list for 2020, 2021, 2022. In 2022, almost 4,000 people were convicted by EFCC. So that's on average, at least 10 people per day. In 2020, less than about 600, 700 marks were convicted.
Even the first accused, because these are all the people
Yes, it's not everybody that is caught that is guilty. I mean people that were convicted, people that were taken to court, charged, and found guilty.
But do you know that there are people that EFCC picks? I think don't come for me, don't come for me. But you know that there are some people that EFCC picks, and they're guilty, like they can't guilty. Well, they do some money and don't go. And then you that doesn't have
of course,
maybe Nigeria.
It happens. What happens is that there's always a method of escalation for those kind of people, you know.
Yes.
But that's not. I think that's not.
Sorry to cut you. It's fast running. I wanted us to look at something. In discussing, we've touched a few things. Motivations behind accusing one another, accusing somebody of falsely of rape. I think one of the reasons is financial engagement that you get from blackmailing. Then we also looked at revenge in the case of those that I promised you marriage, I not come be marry you again, and then I be like, wait till I do this guy. Now I say, okay, this one will stick, even if I cannot prove it. This guy did this guy did that, right? And then is there any other thing that could possibly motivate false accusation?
They say the first cause, because if you take statistically wise, it's men who get falsely accused more.
Yeah,
why? Because it's men. Yeah, because it's men that actually also rape more too. So, like I said, the first thing women stand to get is it's the financial gain. You get me? That's what I'm saying. That's why most of them will always say, they will almost die to like, get in bed or get in a secluded place with a celebrity. They know that if the celebrity or the influencer loses this, if the celebrity or influencer loses his composure, and is not aware of certain vices, they'll actually take advantage of this. And that's why you see women, you see women these days, that guy, money. That's the way. They'll find a way to be their baby mama. It's always one of both ways. You get me? Because at the end, it's in court settlement. You go there, you and your lawyer to mention your damages, whatever, maybe court and values, and that's first what they stand to. That's first and foremost, and even the most important thing they stand to gain: financial favor, financial, or I don't know, dubious financial gain. You get me? That's fair. And I sometimes think if people that accuse people falsely of rape, whether they don't have conscience or they are devil sent, you get me? They are tarnishing someone's image, someone's years of hard work. They are tarnishing someone's reputation, someone's ability to do so many things. You're giving him stigma and all because of I want him.
Even the Bible says the heart of man is desperately wicked. Right?
The heart of woman is the wicked times.
Let's jump from that side.
The heart of woman is
okay.
Let me not talk about the heart of woman, because the woman will smile with you like this. You don't know.
Well, this topic I'm just thinking, like, you're just on your own. You're living your life well. You do like you've not hurt anybody. Accusation just flies. And the next one's in prison.
It's dampening. How would take the case of Mendy? How would you spend 2.5 years? Like, that's his career.
That's even small. There's a guy on Twitter. I sought his permission yesterday to share the story. He shared the story before on Twitter. His name is OJ on Twitter. I think I'll drop this link too for him to see. This guy shared the story of what happened to him when he was in JS3. He was 12 years old. A girl accused him falsely of rape by 12 years. And this girl was 1 year below him. That means she was about 11 years. This guy was expelled from school. His siblings were not good with him because they felt he brought shame to the family. How did this guy later get off the hook? How was it proven that the case was false? The girl later had a fight with her best friend in school, and in the course of the quarrel, the best friend spilled the milk. That's how it came out that this guy was innocent. School called him back. For what? For what? His reputation in that school is gone. He most likely not want to be in that school again. And then too many things, like just being in that school will remind him of the things that have happened and all of that. And then last year, we also had a case of a popular school here in Lagos that went for an excursion overseas, not to share many details in the no toxination person school, but I think we all know the school. It's a popular school. They went for an excursion overseas, and then the mother of one of the parents comes out later to say that her child was raped. And later, right, after the whole accusation flying around, allegations here and there, a video comes up. Unfortunately, because that video constitutes what is called child pornography, spelling with a C. Fortunately, because that video vindicates those boys that this was not really what it was described as. In both cases, the case of the school here in Nigeria and the case of the school of this Twitter guy, the girl who said she was a victim was already sexually active, right, as at the time she made these accusations. These things are very painful to the victim, to the family of the victim, to real victims of rape, because, like I said, it makes proving rape cases much more difficult. Rape is a sensitive crime.
Very sensitive.
Accusations are leveled against somebody. Proper investigation should be done. before any sort of judgment.
That is why I said, see, there are sometimes systems. There are sometimes that look at the case of mine we talk about. Yes, there was ethical benefit. There was follow up. They saw the video of how everything happened. Like sometimes, this guy just say I don't like to say it, but you say judge. I just say get everyone from the same thing. So I say you must never be careful. So for you to do a safe side, guys, if you want to do it, everybody make sure you have evidence. Make sure you have evidence to where you feel go earlier.
So what are you trying to say? What is the case that there are no evidences, but then they know within themselves that something like that didn't happen?
I stated a case here. Jennifer, I stated a case where a girl was drunk. She drove while drunk. She got a lift from a guy while she was drunk. The guy picked her, dropped her somewhere. Somehow, because the story was distorted, her friends that she went out with located her. I'll drop the link to the story later. And then she goes ahead to claim that she was raped. And then she described this guy's car. This guy was jailed for 5 years. He did not do anything. Like, they just picked him. Police invited him. He went, of course, because he knew he was innocent. Like, when you know you're innocent, you're just saying, of course, when there's a case, there's a wide array of suspected people. They're just trying to eliminate the suspects and then have a smaller circle till they pin down on the main suspect and charge or something. This guy just finds himself like that. Next man in jail, 5 years. There's another case, I'm trying to look for it, that a married man, father of one, helped a 19-year-old girl. Kenan Basic, November 2018. So this is the summary. Good Samaritan spends 2 weeks in a maximum security prison after a woman whose car he fixed falsely accused him of indecent assault. What did happen to this man? A young girl, 19 years old, was driving. Her car broke down. The man goes ahead to stop, fixes her car. After fixing her car for 2 hours, drives behind her to be sure that the car is good, and then goes ahead to pass her, goes his way, she goes her way. She goes ahead to go and report him that he assaulted her and raped her. This man's wife divorces him. In these 2 weeks, his wife divorces him. His office sacks him. He's back to nothing. His child is taken from him. The police said they had investigated and he's the main suspect and that they have evidence against him. Do you know what saved this man? His lawyer goes ahead to play back the incident. She goes to the scene of the so-called crime and checks the area and sees a camera pointing directly to where the car was parked while he was working on it. He requests for the lawyer requests for the footage from that camera and then reviews the footage over the period where this girl said this thing happened, and nothing like that happened. To what end did she do that? We can't really say. I have seen another case where
sometimes like there are cases in which women they actually want to have something like nice doing with you. They actually want to get involved in intimacy with you one way or the other. And then when you're not like giving them that, should I say, green light, or you are just being you and being plain with them, they now like use the opportunity to now why would you do such? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense actually. Sometimes women should also learn to take men to know for a man's yes for years. That's the consent we are talking about. Why would you falsely accuse somebody of rape because the person doesn't want to get probably romantically involved with you or one way or the other? You get me? So that's another angle like women come from. Like you say, like you mentioned of Indians, they are seeking for marriage and they can't get marriage from that man, like find a way or something, or probably they had an agreement that they will be doing something out of a particular scope. You get me? So it doesn't really actually make sense when, because they want to breach that agreement, they now use the avenue of false accusation to now like, okay, this. Meanwhile, the whole time they had an agreement, probably verbally, and maybe wasn't recorded and it signed, and it wasn't like, because you can have a verbal agreement and then you people now like, okay, she understands, I understand, but then like at the peak of everything, they're like, no, I have to take advantage of this other. And that's one of the case women actually also, it's always, if someone falsely accuses another, it's always to the detriment of one and to the gain of one. I don't find it pleasing that there are no laws or rules put in place to curb this, because I feel that if there are laws that if you are found like a false accusation, I think the only thing the guy can actually do, maybe it's like it's maybe like get a case, and then like after the whole like accusation part has finished, case forward or put a motion forward that he was falsely accused of rape, and it will look like a kind of vengeance kind of thing. So I feel like automatically there should be a part in which, okay, the person was acquitted and not found guilty, and then there should be a part that the law will be like, okay, since you have now accused this person of rape, you pay so and so for damages, or you do so and so time in jail. Even if it's not harsh, you see that women will actually tend to take rape situations very seriously. Again, even if it's not harsh, maybe you pay a fine and or you save, or you before your attorney or lawyer gets you, it's like, oh, did this really happen, or are you trying to frame him up? You get, there is a penalty for this. Think within there. I think the fact that there is no reaction makes the action very, very open for everybody.
Yeah. You've pointed out something very important.
Okay, I want to talk about the effects on the falsely accused. Some of the effects that we see on people that are falsely accused. So, whether the person that accused you of this wrongdoing is right or is mistaken, you may develop feelings of anger, confusion, and despair, amongst others. That one is this thing is very regular, very normal. You're falsely accused, even if the person mistaken or the person was right. You definitely be angry about it, you even be confused, like, I'm not a bad person, why would someone even accuse me of something like that? So I did this a research here, and study shows that 17 out of 30 of those wrongly accused have complained of PTSD. The study showed that 17 out of 30 wrongly accused affected by PTSD. We talked about post-traumatic stress disorder. We talked about it last week. It's one of the psychological effects of grief. It's the feeling of severe anxiety and stress. It may even point to see that you don't see. So I'm laughing. Very serious. So this is one of the most common effects of grief on a falsely accused person. In all, my conclusion was, in all, you can never be too sure of whoever you are going out with. Or, let's see whoever you're going out with. You can never be too sure of whoever you're going out with. And if you're not very sure of the person you are meeting or going out with, please inform people about it. You can take pictures, you can take screenshots to do that. If you can put on your recorder, even with the voice audio recorder, you can an audio recorder, please do that. You never can be too sure of the person you are hanging out with.
Okay, so I was saying that when it comes to false accusations, there are two types. There are the types that are caused by fuzzy or hazy. I remember something, but I can't remember it well, right? I remember something, but I can't remember it well. Maybe I was intoxicated. Maybe I wasn't thinking straight. You get, there's that kind of case. And there's the case of outrightly falsely accusing somebody to make money or whatever it is from the situation. In the case where maybe it is, I can't remember very well, okay, maybe something can be done in a way of maybe, since you're not so sure, let's really look at this case. But in the case where somebody outrightly lies to make money or to get whatever kind of effect that is going to harm the other person, I feel there should be a law. In my own conclusion, I think that every accuser should bear the burden of proof of the case. It should not be the accuser accuses, sit back to relax for the accused to prove himself innocent, instead of for the accuser to prove the accused guilty. Because here's how it currently works. The accuser accuses and then sits back for the accused to prove himself innocent, instead of it being that the accuser accuses and goes ahead to prove the accused of being guilty. Now, I said one thing: we should not believe every accusation until proven guilty. Cancel culture should not be encouraged. That's another thing. Boom said something, and I stand with that. There should be severe punishments for false accusations. There should be severe punishment, because if there's no consequence for misbehavior, then it's going to be misbehavior that can actually reward me. Man, why shouldn't I misbehave? If the misbehavior is going to reward me, then I have every incentive, every motivation to misbehave. If that misbehavior is by falsely accusing somebody of doing something that he did not do, then I'm going to misbehave in that manner to get the incentives attached to the misbehavior. I don't know if we're getting me. Boom, are you here? Okay, good. I don't know if, okay, we had discussed, as started with question of asking if we know anybody that has been falsely accused. I know quite a couple. I've already shared one that I know from Twitter. I know people that are much more closer to me than that Twitter guy that have also been accused. I've seen how it plays out on their mentality. It's not nice. It's not nice. It can wreck somebody, especially if the person is a teenager. It can wreck somebody. I was also going to ask, does unsolicited sexual attention translate into sexual harassment? Does unsolicited sexual attention translate into sexual harassment?
It depends on what kind of sexual attention.
For instance, sorry for cutting you. For instance, in the world of today, the internet has made it that a girl is only one post away on Instagram from getting the attention of hundreds of men. Men out there always thirsty to like, to make nice comments, to even send money to women they've never seen, to women they have no hope of seeing. Nothing will ever happen. They're just, I mean, it's a thing here that, you too fine. Take this one for being too fine. You hear that kind of thing? When the sexual attention is unsolicited, I no ask for it. I just do a mount. You can't tell me, babe, you too fine. That kind of thing. You know that popular Ukwa video where he said, I would like to harvest you. You know that video? Yeah. He said, this girl, you are too fine. I would like to harvest you. That's unsolicited attention, sexual attention. I'm saying, is unsolicited sexual attention sexual harassment?
Well, it depends on. See, like, it depends on, you get me, it depends on, because a lady, actually, who is always meant to be toasted, can actually has, a lady who is actually, like, meant to be toasted, actually, she's the only one in charge of determining if it's an harassment or not. And at the moment she says no, you should actually back away. The ladies automatically know who they are expecting advances from. They could enter a setting and then they see maybe the judge, who they are like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 men comes up to her. She knows, okay, these are not the person. So like for a guy, when a lady tells you no, or maybe she's just implying she's not interested, you should leave. Like, you should leave. Sorry to say, there are a lot of women out there. You get me? There's a woman for every man and a man for women. So if it's not something that you should now force yourself and force you get me? That's how, like all those, what should I call it, those tiny spots of rape. That's how they actually start. You shouldn't force your. If she tells you no, or she's not interested, she's not genuinely interested, then you have to leave there. You don't have to now come and start. I have to go out with money. I have to go out with, I don't know, probably and all that. If she isn't, relationships, I usually call relationship and equal to. It has to be equal to. It's not greater than, not less than, and not equal to. It has to be equal to. So definitely, if she's like no, then you leave. If she leads you on, then you leave. You have to have that answer. Is it yes or no? Because women can be so deceptive. Then they can be so deceptive. So if she leaves you on, ask her, oh, can we talk? Can we or can we dive deeper or whatever, the follow up. Also,
you're still saying women are deceptive. You're still generalizing. Men are deceptive.
Most, maybe depending on. That's what I'm saying. Depending on, like, I can, like, at that instance, like, the whole sexual harassment thing. That instance, like, you approach a woman and probably, your ego rather is hot that, she turned you down. You see a man now, like, devising all the needs to seek her attention and all that. Now at that point, you are embarrassing yourself and also harassing her. So you have to be smart and wise as a man, because a woman, the laws in this world actually favors woman. From paternity to child support to false accusation to what they actually favor. A woman won't receive the same sentence for felony like a man. You get me? So a man should always be smart about it. Yeah, men are actually deceptive, but men are more like the action than they act based on reaction. Like, I come, I toast a woman, and the way she reacts will now give me another way to act again. Men are the action and women are the reaction. The reaction might be so like giving you amber signs. So as a man you have to be actually be very, very careful with women. You have to be careful with women. Wherever you are going out with them, if you can, put a recorder in your pocket and walk with them, so that everything you say I'm serious, everything you say is recorded. Find the phone, keep somewhere. They are saying yes, screenshot the chat. That's what we actually need. Because else, if you don't have all those evidences, you go explain that they're not gonna believe you. You just explain. That is where women actually prey on men, when there are no evidences. So far in this session, I think we've said a whole lot, ranging from ways to prevent false accusation, what the policies the government can put up to help. Yes, say like that. Do you have anything to add, Jennifer?
To add to what you were saying that when I was remember in the first edition we talked about the people that can be great, and even people of the same gender can great you. So this doesn't just only go to relationship sex. So even when you are with your gender and the person is acting weird, in a way that is ungiven, in a way that you start the way of their teams, make sure you always document it. Maybe they call you them again.
Okay, so I was going to say that for men, they should realize that they stand the higher risk. For real cases, women stand the higher risk. For false cases, men stand the higher risk. Protect yourself. Remember, I emphasized women also trying to protect themselves because they stand the higher risk in real cases. In false cases, protect yourself. Don't be careless. Don't be carrying women when you're drunk. Be sure to have proper consent. If you know that you are a man, you have money, you have the fame, and you're a public figure, then you are the higher risk. Don't expect that, yes, what happens to men is not fair, but then don't expect something different to happen to you. So protect yourself against what regularly happens to men. Protect yourself. Get proper consent. Keep receipts of conversations, of calls, of bank transfers and all of that, because in future it will save you. I'm also going to talk about regretted sex. If regretted sex constitutes rape too, somebody slept with somebody and she now feels like I should not have slept with that guy, and she decided to say that it was rape, it was not real sex, it wasn't a consensual sex, it was a case of rape. Does that still constitute real rape? I was going to mention that, but I think maybe we'll start next week from there, but we'll be wrapping up this entire season next week. So thanks very much for every guest, our listeners. Remember to like, share, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Our channel on YouTube is finally out and the videos are up. I was in your battery and it will allow you to stay to the end. Amarachi has gone. Me wins and I shifted. Thank you a lot. Amarachi will talk later. Bye guys.
So from Boomits, peace.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.